this its biggest sporting event since independence in 1971.
It is possible.
The man who scored the first ever Test century for Bangladesh sees this as a key moment in his country's history.
Their only happiness is cricket, and that's when cricket success comes, they hold it. So they think that this is the only way they can celebrate, because compared to the other sports like football and others, we are far, far away.
Dakar's newly renovated Shira Bangla Stadium is being readied ahead of what's sure to be an emotional opening game against India. It's the first of no less than 49 matches.
The Cricket World Cup has evolved into something that's unrecognisable from its first edition back in 1975. On that occasion, 8 teams stayed in the same English hotel for an event that lasted just a couple of weeks. Well, this competition sprawls across 3 countries and across 3 calendar months. Maintaining public interest for the duration, well, that will be quite a challenge.
I hereby declare the ICC Cricket World Cup open.
Right now, though, containing excitement is the only issue in Bangladesh. Their opening ceremony arrived a full 2 days before the first ball was to be bowled. Saturday just can't come soon enough. Andy Richardson, AlJazeera, Dakar.
Football now in the Europa League, where the first leg of the round of 32 matches were played on Thursday. Anderlecht lost 3-0 to Dutch side Ajax. Spartak Moscow came back from 2-0 down to beat Basel 3-2. Spain's Villarreal held Italy's Napoli to a goalless draw, while Porto kept their 100% away record in this season's competition intact after winning at Sevilla. Czech side Sparta Prague held 3-time UEFA Cup champions Liverpool to a 0-0 draw. Now, this is London's City Hall, where UEFA revealed tickets for this year's Champions League final will be the most expensive ever. If you want to go to the final at London's Wembley Stadium in May, the cheapest ticket will set you back $242. It's led some to suggest that ordinary fans are being priced out of the markets.
The increase in price of last year, and we think it's a moderate increase. It's in the order of 10–15%, and Champions League final has been in a way underpriced for many years.
Top seed Caroline Wozniacki has comfortably moved into the quarter-finals of the Dubai Tennis Championships on Thursday after beating Japan's Ayumi Morita. The Dane reached this stage after her last opponent retired due to illness. Well, a well-rested Wozniacki came out firing in this one, taking the opening set 6-1, and there was no let-up for Morita as she was demolished in the second set to love. And if Wozniacki beats her next opponent, Israel Shahar-Peer, she'll also reclaim the #1 spot. On the men's tour, former world #1s Leighton Hewitt and Andy Roddick are set to clash in the quarterfinals of the Memphis International. Australian Hewitt came from a set down to beat France's Adrian Maranino, while the top seed Roddick had an easier time of polishing off Serbia's Janko Tipsarevic in straight sets. And on the comeback trail, and also through, is the former US Open champion Juan Martín del Potro. The big Argentinian missed most of 2010 with injury, and he beat Croatian Ivan Dogic 6-4, 6-4. It's a crowded leaderboard at the top of the Northern Trust Open leaderboard in California. After the first round, 9 players are tied for top spot. Aaron Baddeley is one of them. The Australian shot a 4-under par 67 on Thursday to head that leaderboard. But defending champion Steve Stricker is in trouble, though. He's 6 shots back after carding a 73. That's your sport, Folly.
Thank you very much, Rahul. All right, so still ahead on AlJazeera. Let's give you some live pictures right now from Cairo's Tahrir or Liberation Square. Friday prayers underway there. On this Friday, of course, being 1 week since former President Hosni Mubarak stood down, and the pro-democracy marking what they're calling a day of victory in Tahrir Square. But the celebrations not just going on in Tahrir Square, but also in the second largest city. Some pro-Mubarak rallies taking place this Friday. Our reporter telling us earlier of about a few hundred people marching outside of Cairo, not in Liberation Square, which is what we're looking at right now. Tens of thousands gathered there this Friday to mark the Friday of Victory. The Friday prayers, they're being led by Sheikh Yusuf al-Qaradawi, a top Egyptian cleric who's called for of a government. We'll be speaking to our correspondent in Cairo in just a few minutes. Do stay with us here on Al Jazeera.
Thank you.
Oh no!
It's an astonishing moment.
We are globally yours.
Now, the main stories here on Al Jazeera.
From the world to your phone. Al Jazeera Mobile.
It's the 1100 hours GMT. I'm Foli Batibo. You're watching Al Jazeera live from Doha. These are our top stories. Tens of thousands of Egyptians are gathered at Cairo's Tahrir Square as part of a nationwide march of victory. The Friday prayer is underway there. This has been called to celebrate the end of President Hosni Mubarak's 30-year rule 1 week ago this Friday. In Yemen, one person has been killed and 17 injured in clashes between anti-government protesters and security forces in the city of Aden. Meanwhile, security is tight in the capital, Sana'a. Thousands are expected to take to the streets on Friday afternoon in several cities after calls for a Friday of rage. In Libya, demonstrators defied a crackdown by the country's security forces and took to the streets in 5 cities on Thursday. At least 20 were killed as pro-government and anti-government protesters clashed. Let's take you back now to Egypt, and pro-democracy campaigners are holding a nationwide march of victory this Friday, 1 week after Hosni Mubarak stood down from power. Thousands have gathered in the capital, Cairo, to celebrate this. The celebrations will start with a service at Cairo's Opera House following Friday prayers to remember the hundreds of people killed during the country's uprising. Now, from there, mourners will march to Liberation or Tahrir Square, where thousands of people are already gathered. And also in Cairo, a rally is expected in support of Egypt's old regime and its former president, Hosni Mubarak. Let's go live now to Cairo and speak to Al Jazeera's Hoda Abdelhamid, who's overlooking Tahrir Square. Hoda, tell us what's happening right now there.
Well, the prayer literally just ended, and as you can see, the party is about to start all over again. Now, as you said, the prayer was led by Sheikh Yusuf al-Qaradawi.